Hi everyone, Brian from Bear Traders here. It's November the 20th. Getting ever closer to Christmas. Of course, Thanksgiving's coming up this week in the US, so we'll have a shortened trading week, but this is the weekend video. We'll take a look at how things traded over the last week, and then we'll look ahead and see how things are shaping up for this very short trading week. So let's get down to it. Start out here with a relatively high level view, sort of what happened last week. Qs went out strong and at new high, just kept pushing higher there, being brought up by probably just a few names. The internals were looking a little weak. We'll take a look at that in a minute. SPY didn't quite fare as well, although they did manage an up week, although it was pretty flat, and energy was a big drag on that. Economically sensitive Dow, IWM, they finished down on the week pretty significantly. Rates still pretty range bound between sort of 1.5 and 1.6. We're kind of keeping an eye on if that's going to break out of that range. US dollar just continues to rip higher. I guess people are just liking the US dollar. Again, on Friday, there were some pretty significant concerns in the market about the lockdowns that were springing up again in Europe, and that, of course, that weighed on anything energy or economic sensitive stuff like energy. And as far as economic events coming up this week, we've got FOMC minutes on Wednesday. We do have a lot of economic data that's sort of scattered throughout the week, probably too much to list here. And for earnings, we're still in earnings. We're getting close to the end of earnings season, but we still got a lot of stuff coming up here. A lot of retailers. We've got Urban Outfitters. We do have Zoom. That'll be interesting after the market close Monday. Best Buy, Dollar Tree, Dick's, American Outfitters, all retailers reporting before the market opened Tuesday. Got some technology names, Dell, HPQ, and then of course some more retail names, Gap and Nordstrom's on Tuesday. Then before the market opened, Deere on Wednesday, and then of course Thursday, nothing going on there. Thanksgiving Friday will be a shortened day, so again, nothing much happening there for the rest of the week. And before we get started into our analysis of the specific charts, I always like to throw this up as a quick ad for my book on Amazon, How to Swing Trade. If you have not checked it out, rules, routines, and strategies that I use as a swing trader to come up with trades. So let's take a look at some of these charts now and see where we might be going for the coming week. So again, we always like to start with interest rates, see what's happening there. You can see the 2 years continues to creep up. You can see this nice rounding bottom. Actually, pretty nice little cup and handle there. And we continue to push higher on the 2 year. Of course, the closer we get to the 10 year, curve starts to flatten. And you can see here is the 10 year. We are kind of, as I said, we are kind of stuck in this range right now. We don't seem to be prepared to go up higher. We did try to make a new high here on Friday, but sold off significantly on the yield. So again, pulling back and getting closer to the yield on the 2, although we are still quite a ways away here. The transports, again, just not a great day Friday. We are still holding on to this 20 moving average here. Volume came up a little bit, so keeping an eye on that. That'll be kind of a swing trade idea as we start looking at the watch list. Again, on the week, we were significantly down here. So down almost 1.5% on the week, and might be heading lower here. And here's the Dow, of course, on the day. We really took this big hit on Friday, again, with concerns of the new lockdowns that are happening in Europe, and we did that on some significant volume both. But you know, the whole week was, even before that news, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was fairly weak. And you can see here all the momentum indicators rolling over and heading to the downside. So Dow looking fairly weak here. And on the week, of course, we were down 1.33%-ish. And again, coming back to this 20 moving average, so on a bit more volume than say previous week. So again, Dow looking weak here. The Qs again broke out all-time high on a weekly basis. Again, we just again pushing higher. Still, trend is still upwards, although we are pretty extended. Volume was not abnormally high or low. So again, maybe just maybe just continue to push higher here or start to flatten out. I'm really thinking we're getting overbought here again and maybe need a bit of a pullback. The SPY again down day on Friday. Again, right near all-time highs and a bit of an indecision candle. We were up slightly on the week, as I mentioned, up a 1/3%. But again, these two weekly sort of candles here are just looking some sort of indecision and not a lot of volume here. So again, kind of warning flag a bit on the track here. And the IWM again, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just back, and we've almost come back here to test where we broke out from. As a matter of fact, we've come back to this level here. We did have a very convincing breakout here, and this is what you might call a bit of a false breakout. So again, pull back, and this was what I'd mentioned earlier. Watch for a lower high. So here was your high, and this rejection here was a lower high, and so we did definitely sell off here. And I did have some TZA through the week to play that drop back down there. TZA, the bear ETF of the IWM, and you can see here volume was building here on this sell-off, and some pretty significant rollovers on all the indicators. So IWM again on the week, we are back down to testing this area. This is going to be critical to see if we can hold here, because if we don't hold and start to turn back up again, we're probably going to be back into this trading range. The dollar, as I mentioned earlier, just on fire. Monday, Tuesday, bit of a ABCD pattern, pull back Wednesday, Thursday, and then new high on Friday. So again, dollar strength. And that's, of course, not helping, or it is hurting certainly the emerging markets. And despite the fact that gold's been actually doing fairly well during this whole period, but it did start to roll over on Friday. That is the gold trade. And the VIX, again, we just had a bit of an up day again on Friday. We are pulling back from this sort of 19 level every time we get there, so we'll just continue to watch this. But it does look like it's putting a higher low here, and maybe there's a bit of fear creeping into the market. Real sell-off here on Bitcoin during the week, did come back up, and right now we're just sort of trading around the 50 moving average here, but Bitcoin looking a little bit weak right now. And so stocks on watch for this coming week. Again, shortened week here. You can see here Apple broke out. This was probably on this news of this EV car came out. And of course, anything to do with EV has been pretty hot, and Apple had a really nice breakout here. We are getting pretty overbought here. You can see the volume was really good on these last 3 days, but again, getting a little bit overbought doesn't mean it can't go higher. But Apple looking really strong here. Disney not off, sort of the tale of two tapes. Disney not looking very strong at all. We are coming down to this 150 level, which I think is going to be probably support. And of course, if it loses that, then we could be back into this area here, this one sort of 35 area where the 200-day moving average is. So I'd be watching this 150 level next week, possible bounce for Disney. DraftKings, again, I mentioned this 35 level was pretty important. We're getting down there as well. Again, the selling volume has really been elevated on DraftKings, and just no love. But it is really getting overbought here, oversold here, I should say. And I'm thinking it's probably due for at least a bounce. Facebook had a pretty choppy week actually. We did have some up volume, but 350 seems to be resistance right now. So I'd be watching that. I might could even sell some 350 calls next week, counting on it maybe just doing some churning. It does look like it's kind of flattening out here. It's in a range, so there's still some overhang in terms of concerns about Facebook. But it seems to have found a bottom at the same time. FedEx is really, I'm glad we got out of this trade. Got this nice break right up to gap fill on this, and now it's rolling over again. And I think the transports are looking a little bit vulnerable. Here's the gold trade I've been in for a while, but it does seem to be rolling over with the strength of the U.S. dollar. Finally, it's kind of giving way to the U.S. dollar again. It was managing to hold on and fight the correlation, which is dollar up, gold down, but it is starting to weaken there. So I'll be looking to maybe exit that position if we get any more weakness. So here's the IYT. This is the iShares transportation average. It was up on Friday, but we are below this 200 moving average or 20 moving average. It is rolling over. I'm actually thinking that we maybe have some more downside here. So I'll be looking at that on Monday and seeing if it actually closes below this 272 level. Lucid, what can you say about Lucid? Just again, this EV play, just been a rocket ship. It is really extended. It did get this pullback, this nice pullback that brought the RSI back down, and so we may actually start to push new highs here. I'm looking for that on Monday, a new high for Lucid. Micron, I was watching. I thought it was going to break out, but it just gapped up and ran, so didn't get it. But it does look like it's getting kind of into it. Went really parabolic here, so I'd be looking for a bit of a pullback like we got here, and so I'll be watching that on Monday for a bit of a pullback after this massive run. And here is the weekly on Micron. Just wanted to bring this up and point this out. When you take a look at it from a broader perspective, you can see we're into an area where there's probably some resistance, this 84 level, but or 84, 85 level. But if we can get through that, then probably 95 and even 100 could be possible with Micron. So keeping an eye on that one. PayPal, again, just lost this 200-day moving average or 200 price level. That was an area I thought there would be some support, but we lost it on Friday. And you can see here now it's coming down. But this 180 level may be another area where we'll find some support. But again, no love for PayPal. And sort of the same story for Square. Anyway, this is Roblex. This is another one I'm still long on a swing. This had a really nice move up here. It's been good volume too, and just a popular stock right now. Everybody's loving this one, so still long this. I have sort of sold out of some, but I'm still holding, and it's looking a little bit toppy here with this double top. Again, we couldn't push to a new high, so maybe it's going to take a pause, but I think the trend is still to the upside on Roblex. Snap again, looking fairly weak here. This is an area, this 50 level is a pretty important area. If we don't hold that, there could be a lot of downside on Snap, so I'd be keeping an eye on that 50 level for Snap. Cisco is one I'm watching. It looks like it's really had a big sell-off here, and this looks like a bit of a capitulation selling event came well off the 73 level, which seemed to attract some buyers. So I'm looking at that one as a possible bounce trade as well. And Tesla, what can you say about Tesla? Again, back up through 1100. Nice double bottom there. I did play that with options, selling some puts, some 1,000 puts, and they went out on Friday at 0, so I kept the premium on that. And the great thing about Tesla is the premiums on the options are fairly high. So that's kind of it, everybody. Again, I hope everyone's had a good weekend. And on Monday morning, we'll be starting out 8 o'clock live on YouTube. Jared will be taking us through the engineering the markets, and then Norm and Carlos with a pre-market show, and then of course we'll be trading the market open at 9:30. So hopefully you can join us there. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody, and we'll hopefully catch you on Monday morning. Bye for now.